This is something that you don't see very much anymore. This is a vibrating reed frequency meter. This meter has a range of 380 to 420 hertz, and it was designed to be used on an engine generator set to set the engine speed so that the alternator produces 400 hertz. And it was to be supplied with a 100 to 150 volt connection to the rear lugs in the back. These blobs are solder. I squeezed it with a pair of diagonal cutters. I believe they're holding nuts that contain the components. So these are little tiny fingers, very thin, of phosphor bronze construction. They're real thin, they're about the thickness of a piece of paper, but one end, the end that we're looking at, is bent vertically and painted white. The reeds are approximately this long, 2 fingers long, and they extend back, and the free end is here. They extend back or clamped to a metal plate back here. And these reeds are excited by a coil mounted down here. And probably under the coil down here, we'll find a resistor. Now, I don't have a 120 volts source at 400 hertz. I do have a function generator that will deliver about 12 volts RMS. Perhaps we can bypass the resistor and directly feed the coil. So I'll proceed to tear it apart here. Bunch of little screws on the back, machine screws. It's a cast aluminum bezel, rubber O-ring, and glass front. Getting closer. There could be a date on there, 11/29 maybe. You can see the little reeds here. See them extending back. There's a magnetic coil, and I believe this to be a resistor. Although perhaps I can get on the coil by just getting on this. So with an ohm meter, we have these 2 input terminals. Using an ohm meter, I found that one of the input terminals connects directly to here. The coil reads 1,000 ohms, and there's a 3,000 ohm resistor from here to here. So I'm going to try to just get on here with my function generator and see if I can cause it to vibrate. Alright, so I don't know if you can see it or not, but I'm outputting, according to my frequency counter, 399.8 hertz. Take note of this read right here. I'm going to turn off the function generator. See how it stopped moving? It's not vibrating a whole lot, but it is vibrating. We'll try 420, which is the high end. All right. You can barely see it, but it is vibrating. The frequency meter says 420.05. I'll turn the function generator off and watch it stop. See how it stops? See how it's vibrating? I'll go back to 400. And you can see this is vibrating vertically up and down. Turn off the function generator and you see it die. Start again. Now, I'm obviously not exciting the coil with enough voltage. They're moving a lot more at full voltage, but I cannot develop 120 volts at 400 hertz. Well, you can see how that would tell me when my generator was putting out 400 cycles. And what they've done, I've seen them do it two ways. I've seen these things with a different length to them. In other words, there's an angled, these are shorter here. This plate is an angle. And these, I think they've doped them with weights. Get that up there. See, there's a little bit of solder on them. You still see that this one is vibrating. Here we have the function generator at 420 again. I think somehow this metal plate is also ground away in order to calibrate this thing. I put it all back together. I'm driving it with 400 hertz square wave, and you can see this one vibrating a little bit. I'll turn the function generator off. See how it stops. Now, the vibration would be about 3 times that much if we were up here at 120 volts. And you could just crank the throttle on the diesel generator so that, say, these two vibrated with no load, and then with a load it would settle down at 400. Or if you were running at load and you want to adjust frequency at 400, you just go to 400. Well, you can see a little bit of vertical displacement there. I'll turn the generator off again. And see it settles down. There it starts up. So, from the dark ages of electronics, a vibrating reed frequency meter. I'll dig around in the shed and see if I can find a 60 hertz or 60 cycle 120 volt, then we can see it really vibrate.